Well, well, well.
Hello, the great Jason.
Stop
Garrett.
right there.
I hope I can still catch
For old
this
time's
ball. There
sake.
we go. Still got it a little bit. You can still wing it too.
6'5", 265, what a target.
How are you?
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
I'm good. Good
Come
to
on,
see you.
Come on over here.
All right.
Sit down for me.
Got the old bench, huh?
Bench is nice.
This must have been your idea.
How about this?
Oh boy.
That was
Yep.
my idea,
I know. I know. That was a good year.
It's a motley crew, huh?
That was, yeah, there were some characters on this one.
No doubt. No doubt.
Oh, it's good.
Hey, let's start there.
Yeah.
I have vivid memories of our time together. We played together for 3 years. How does the heavy metal loving guy who called everybody dude, loved to go to biker bars, do you ever think that guy was going to be a head coach of an NFL football team?
No, not at that time. I didn't. But I think it's funny enough. I think that time being at the Giants and shoot, man, one of the first camps I worked as a pro football player. Shoot, man, it was out in Pennsylvania. That kind of sparked my interest a little bit. Just in the this helping some of these high school kids out. You know, it's like but no, you don't ever think, hey, you're going to end up being a coach one day. And certainly not NFL. No, it's crazy.
Hey, you played 11 years, a lot of different influences, teammates and coaches who had a big impact on you. Can you talk about some of those guys who made a difference in your career and have impacted you as a head coach?
Yeah, well, look, I've been fortunate to be around some great ones. And it's funny, man, because, seeing you here, you're one of those guys. I mean, you came in, you're a veteran guy, man. You'd seen it. You know what winning looked like. You come to us at the Giants, and you were really, you were our second quarterback, but you were also really a coach for us, at least on the field. And then, off the field. But no, certainly Sean Payton, it always starts there for me because most of my time as a player and a coach were under him, learned a ton. And, Mike Pope, man, learned a ton under Coach Pope, man. About the position, about the game, knowing all of it, the O-line, the protection, the pass game, the run concepts, who we're Mike and where we're going. I owe him a ton. Certainly Bill Parcells, had a big influence on me. Tony Sperano, God rest his soul. So Mike Sherman as a coach, he really helped me grow as a coach, So, and I could go on and on. There's a ton of guys.
Yeah, it's a heck of a group.
It is.
You were as tough as they come, as smart as they come. You played with more effort than anybody. How much of who you were as Dan Campbell as a player has influenced you, Dan Campbell, as the head coach, and how you want to build this team?
A ton. Because I think the trick is, I would say guys like me, when it pertains to, man, the way you play the game, the style of play, trying to be detailed, disciplined, all that. Now, but with talent, because that's, I didn't have all this talent, but man, I think that's the key is, man, how do we build a roster of guys that think about the game the way I did, have love of the game the way I did, love the grind, right? But man, they got some talent. And so I think that's always a starting point for myself and for Brad Holmes.
You spent 3 years as a player here in Detroit, and I see everybody wearing 313 grit. Mm-hmm. How did that experience as a player impact you here as the head coach of this Detroit Lion team?
I just think, look, obviously the 313 represents, the area code, the area, all of it. And I just, grit was something that, in a nutshell, that's the type of players we want, and it's being able to overcome adversity. It's when things get hard, get rough, man, you're going to dig your heels in and go to work. And I think that kind of embodies Detroit, this place was built off the auto industry and things were good, and all of a sudden, man, you hit some hard times here, but it's built off of blue collar type of workers here, man. That's what it's built off of, and I wanted our team to embody that. It's a blue collar city. We're a blue collar team.
Yeah. Hey, going into year 3 as the head coach, 34 games as the head coach of the Detroit Lions, you start 4-19-1, right? So the first 24 games, you're sitting up in your office saying, is this really the plan? Are we going in the right direction? Who provided inspiration for you to say, hey, stay the course, you're doing things the right way, just keep going?
Look, I think I can go back to some of those mentors. Coach Parcells, though we might not directly talk, man, I'll get a text from him, especially during those span. Coach Payton, another one, and Drew Brees, just some guys that I have a ton of respect for and think a lot of. And I never felt like we need to deviate. And when I got those type of texts and that communication, it validated what we were doing. And so I never wavered. Our coaches didn't, our players didn't, and I knew we were this close. And so did they. And then it began to turn. We started figuring out how to win, how to close games out.
Yeah. So you start 1-6 last year, and then you win 8 out of the last 10. What was the biggest difference for your team down the stretch?
I think just that. I think, I think there was a number of things. Offensively, we were playing pretty good football. And where we were hurting a little bit offensively is, we're moving the ball, we're scoring some points, but then, man, critical turnover at the worst time in a game, And then defensively, man, we're competing, but we're not all on the same page. We're not communicating, and so when we get hit, they were big ones. They were explosives, and we weren't getting all the takeaways. And so, man, we kind of calmed things down a little bit. We started taking care of the football. I think we needed a real good win. I think we needed our defense to win a game for us, and they did. On the first one out of the gate, you talk about that 8 out of 10 wins at the end of the year. The first one was Green Bay, the first round here at Ford Field. And our defense showed up, man. 3 big takeaways. We held up at the end of the game. And I think that just kind of started it. We figured it out. We started to take care of the football. We were making these huge plays, critical plays at critical times to win the game instead of the other way.
Yeah, it's impressive. The hottest team in the NFL. Let's go back and keep talking about the offense. Young offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, the quarterback. Jared Goff kind of comes here and he needed his career to be resurrected a little bit. What kind of environment have you guys created for him that's allowed him to play so well? Yeah,
I told him from day one that, man, I wanted him to really take ownership in this offense and this team. And, we wanted to, man, we really wanted to expand his horizons, right? Man, we really wanted to force it all on him. Man, let's dive into these protections. Let's get a handle on, to where you can solve your own problems. You're not having to deal with anything else, and you gain a level of confidence and comfort in doing those things. And then let's build around him. Let's build look. Coach McVay did a hell of a job with him out there, and we've taken a lot of those things that they did with him. A lot of the run action pass stuff, the drop back, on top of the things that I believe in and Ben Johnson believes in. So, but I think more than anything, just gave him ownership and gave him confidence to really evolve, to be honest with you.
Yeah. What was so impressive to me was there was balance. Yeah. Goff played well, the receivers played well, but you guys ran the ball. Your runners were impactful. It's a different running back group this year. How's that transition going?
Yeah, it's going good. Look, Jamal Williams will always be near and dear to my heart. He's one of the reasons we even got to this point that we did. But we're excited about Montgomery. We're excited about this Gibbs. We think he's got a lot of ability, he's got a lot of versatility, and we think we can have a 1-2 punch here. And we're not just a one-back offense. We're going to use those guys in different roles and ask them to do what they do well.
Yeah, the offense top 5 in a ton of categories. The defense 32nd. Certainly played better at the end of the year. What do you have to do on that side of the ball to be a playoff team and a team that contends for the NFC?
Well, I think that a lot of it I felt like started in the offseason, and our general manager Brad Holmes, I thought, did an outstanding job. We really, man, we wanted to put an emphasis on the back end and see if we could, bring in some more competition back there. Certainly Cam Sutton and CJ and we got E-Man, Mosley, we'll see where he's at. But we really upgraded, and then we get Tracy Walker back. We get these pieces back. We draft this branch, and So I think that's going to go a long way, but the communication there on the back end, that's a pivotal piece for us. And then honestly, man, just the fundamentals of what we do up front. That front seven, we really put an emphasis this offseason in training camp back to the fundamentals, man. Let's get good at striking blocks, shedding blocks, violent separation, and because I think it goes a long way on the D-line.
Yeah. To talk about Aiden Hutchinson, you know, a lot of coaches talk about what kind of team they want to have, but ultimately it's about the guys you pick. It seems like he represents everything that you want in your football team.
For sure. You know, we're fortunate to have him. Look, you talk about a guy who brings his lunch bell to every practice, every game, everything he does, man. He's about perfection. And he is a high motor, violent, smart, instinctive football player. I mean, he can really do a little bit of everything. And so, yeah, I mean, who doesn't want those players, right? Who doesn't want them?
No question. Let's talk about the hype train. You know, those first 24 games, you probably spent a lot of time talking to your team and bolstering their confidence.
Yeah.
And now these last 10 games, you win 8 out of 10. You're the hottest team in ball. You're playing the Chiefs on Thursday night to start the season. How do we slow down the hype train, or do we want to?
No, I think more than anything, here is, yeah, you got to be careful, especially we have a young team, you know, and it's not the veterans I worry about as much as I do the young guys. And look, a lot of that goes, I've told those vets, a lot of it falls on their shoulders too now. Let's live in the moment and let's stay true to what it really is, you know, and we know all we can do is put the work in if we really want to go to where we want to go. But I think that what we cannot forget and what the team knows is, all right, who won a division last year? You know, Minnesota won a division, all right, and who has won it almost every year before that? Well, Green Bay. So those are the kings in this conference, and Chicago is loaded back up. And oh, by the way, we didn't make it to the playoffs last year. So we're still hungry. We still got something to prove to ourselves. You know, we haven't done anything yet.
Talk about the challenge in week 1, Patrick Mahomes. This guy's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, okay, you just dropped the mic with that one, yeah, which that's all you have to. He is, you know, look, there's not enough good things you can say about Mahomes. I mean, his style of play, man, he's smart, he's instinctive, he's highly aware, he's got pocket mobility, he's dangerous, and man, if you don't keep him in there and first of all, you keep him in there, you're not guaranteed to get him anyway, but at least you give yourself a better chance. But he is, look, it all starts with him. And that offense between he and Kelsey, I mean, those guys, it is, man, it's backyard ball a lot of times. They give them the play to start with, but they're so much on the same page that you can't cover it. I mean, they already know what each other's thinking before anything happens. And so it presents a huge challenge, you know, and but look, our guys are looking forward to it.
No doubt. You having fun doing this?
I love it. I absolutely love it, you know. And I think the best part, and you know this, I mean, you did as a player, and hell, you had a successful career as a head coach, is being around the guys. Yeah. Being around the brotherhood and watching these guys grind and the blood and the sweat and the tears and all that comes with it, man, it's just the best. Yeah. It's the best, and especially when, you know, when you're competing and you want to be a champ, you want to win games, and it's just, there's nothing better. Not everybody can do it.
I had a great visit with Holly earlier, and she said you're a master at making tortillas. Is it an oatmeal raisin cookies too? Is that a true statement?
Yeah, I guess those are my two. She probably told you when I mess them up, I'll make them every day after that until I get them right too.
Persistent, you're a perfectionist.
Yeah, I do. You know, look, if I get a little time, particularly in the off season or in the summer, man, I just go at it. You know, I told her one day, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I want to make some homemade tortillas. I'm going to get good at these. So I got dough everywhere.
Kid out of Waxahachie and Glen Rose, right?
I had dough and flour everywhere. But yeah, that's right, JG.
Did you bring those to the motorcycle bars here in Detroit or no?
Look at you. Look at you. A long time ago, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good stuff.
It was fun.
Yes,
Great seeing you.
Great seeing you, bro.
You're awesome.
All right,
Get after it, man. It's fun.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.